Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we have to start off by talking about the price of Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is at a fear. Very bullish because we're still in a bull market and we went from greedy to neutral to fear. And I've been telling you guys about this, that sentiment is very important here as Bitcoin cools down and it's setting the table for a reversal. In addition, on the charts, the RSI is seeing a bounce. So the RSI was on the daily chart is in a super oversold scenario. And as stated in previous podcasts, when you are in the oversold or the overbought zone, the only direction to go is in the opposite direction, right? So here we are pretty much bottoming out and we're going to see a slow, steady grind out of this situation. And I'm hoping by the next couple of weeks or so, Bitcoin has some momentum to keep moving upwards. And that may coincide with the Ethereum Spot ETF approval announcement. So you'll have this narrative to push the markets higher. So that's what I'm thinking. Once again, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen next week, but we have to be patient and let these things play out. We are also tracking the DXY, the dollar currency index, which of course has an inverse correlation with the risk assets like Bitcoin, crypto, and the stock market. The DXY is still looking okay here on the charts, but according to some analysts, this could start breaking down soon. And I'm hoping, it happens as we head into July and risk assets like Bitcoin, crypto, the stock market, and so forth can keep pumping. However, it's hard to time these things. I think they are on the horizon, but exactly when, I don't know. So this is where we have to exercise patience and keep looking at the charts and the data to make sure our thesis is still intact. All right, moving ahead, guys, we got some big news around SEC Chair Gary Gensler and the Ethereum Spot ETF approvals. Now, you all know I like to call him scumbag regulator Gary Gensler because I believe he's working for the TradFi incumbents. He's being weaponized by Elizabeth Warren and these TradFi folks to slow down and kill some of these crypto startups so that the TradFi incumbents can come in and take over. So he was interviewed by Bloomberg today, and he said the Ethereum Spot ETF approvals process is going smoothly. And one of the things to note is Gary seemed very timid here. He's not even trying to put up a fight on this topic specifically. And it's because he would have gotten sued left and right by BlackRock and Fidelity and these other folks if he denied these ETF applications. Just look at what Grayscale, a small investment firm, did against the SEC with regards to the Bitcoin spot ETFs, right? So he was forced to do this. And of course, politically, him and the Democrats are taking massive hits. We know the Biden administration is looking to possibly do a 180 on their crypto stance because Donald Trump is hammering the hell out of them, when it comes to campaigning around crypto and technology and so forth. Now, the other factor here, which I found very interesting, is that the reporter or the interviewer did an amazing job asking Gary a question about the elections and what Mark Cuban had to say. I'm going to play the clip for you, but essentially the interviewer said, Mark Cuban says, you could literally cost Biden the election. What's your response to that? Gary says, I don't speak about elections. Let me play the clip here for you guys.
As you know, crypto, though, is becoming almost an election issue. There's reports that former President Trump is going to speak at this big Bitcoin conference. He said that he will end, quote, Joe Biden's war on crypto. And there's one more. It's become such a big deal that Mark Cuban has actually said that you, Mr. Gensler, could, quote, literally cost Joe Biden the election. What's your response to this?
I'm going to be easy with you, Anne Maria. I don't speak about elections.
You don't have a response to Mr. Cuban?
I just really, look, my role as a securities regulator, as chair of this great 5,000 person agency that oversees $120 trillion capital markets, we are here to look out for investors, look out for issuers, and where appropriate to be a cop on the beat. And we have a set of rules that are pretty clear. There's nothing inconsistent about crypto securities and the securities laws. Unfortunately, there's a number of people that are non-compliant with the laws.
Let me ask it a different way. Are you surprised by the political movement we've seen around crypto?
Again, I mean, I'm a securities regulator. I'm focused every day on that part of my job, which is protecting the investors, looking out for issuers, access to markets, fair, orderly, and efficient markets. And with all respect, I hope your listeners understand that's my role. Other people can speak about elections.
So the election is coming up, though, and although your term,
Anne-Marie,
although your term
take three.
Although your term goes beyond November 5th, is there something you want to get done? Do you feel like you're up against the clock to get something done before the presidential election?
So there you have it, guys. Gensler's a clown, right? And he knows he's going to cost Biden a lot of votes. He knows the crypto industry and many folks are against them. He knows the Democrats have turned on him and Elizabeth Warren. And we saw that with the FIT21 bill being passed in the House and the repeal of SOB 121 in the House and the Senate. So there was a very tense moment there, and Gensler started to squirm. He knows the deal, but he's going to dance around the questions like he always does. But I think Mark Cuban is spot on. And Mark Cuban defeated the SEC. They tried to come after Mark Cuban and he beat them. So Mark knows the tactics of the SEC and all the nonsense that's going on. And remember, there's also a potential crypto roundtable being put together by Congressman Ro Khanna, which includes Mark Cuban and the Biden administration. That's slated for early July. We'll see if that actually happens. There's just been reports, not full confirmation yet. And it could be a catalyst in making Joe Biden and his administration do a 180 on crypto. Now, Gary Gensler also continued his slander against the crypto industry, saying this is a field where the leading lights from a couple of years ago are either in jail, about to go to jail, or waiting extradition. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse weighed in on these statements and says absolute nonsense coming from Gary Gensler today. And this slander about all crypto execs going to jail from a man who completely missed FTX and actually cozied up to SBF and wasn't even invited to the DOJ announcement about Binance. If he was really working for the American people, as he says, he would have been fired a long time ago. Gensler will cause Biden to lose the election. Wow. I've often stated about it. I wrote about it in my book. Sam Bankman-Fried was meeting with Gary Gensler, meeting with the SEC. The SEC did not do their job and failed to stop that. That happened under Gary Gensler's watch. Not only did Gary Gensler fail with that, he failed with Celsius and 3 Hours Capital and so on and so forth. But he's been wasting his time attacking good actors, trying to go after Brian Armstrong at Coinbase, Ripple, and so forth. So it's pathetic, right? That's why this guy needs to be kicked out. We need comprehensive regulations from Congress. We need someone who's not a puppet being controlled by TradFi to try to take down crypto startups so that they can catch up. This is why, once again, I call this man a scumbag regulator. Now, moving ahead, guys, we got huge news around Solana. Now, I hold Solana in my portfolio. I believe it's going to do well in this market. There's a lot of liquidity being injected into Solana, and it has had its problems over the years with downtimes. Now, they have been working on that, addressing it, and there's a Fire Dancer upgrade coming, which should fix a lot of this. But I got to give credit where credit is due. The Solana team is doing some amazing things, and here is an example. They tweeted out, today we connect Solana to the entire internet. Vote, donate, mint, swap, pay, use Solana everywhere. So they said meet Blinks, blockchain links, a new primitive that transforms on-chain actions into shareable links. Anywhere you can share a link on the internet, you can initiate Solana actions, even on X, Twitter, of course. Blinks brings Solana actions to any website or app. Solana actions are APIs that return Solana transactions, making it simple to sign and send using native app and mobile buttons, scannable QR codes, and shareable Blinks. So from the videos and images they put out here, essentially, if you're sharing a link that is pretty much enabled with Solana, like if you share something on X, it will enable a full dialog box where you can donate or pay and so forth. It's pretty incredible, guys. And this is technology that's going to help improve the adoption of crypto, where you can make it seamless and frictionless, where regardless of if I'm a crypto expert or not, it provides the easy one-click buttons to pay and donate and do all these things. And that's super important in transitioning Web 2 to Web 3 and getting non-crypto experts, just the average Joe and Jane, to be able to participate. And in the videos and images they provided, it shows you can use USDC, the stable coin, to pay for transactions and much more. So very, very bullish here for Solana. And once again, I got to give credit where credit's due. I'm not emotional about these tokens. I'm not married to them. And I like to look at things from a factual, logical standpoint. And if they're building incredible solutions that will usher in the next billion users and improve crypto adoption, and obviously it's running on their network, that's very bullish. So once again, I do hold the Solana token, but not financial advice. Do your own research, of course. Now, because of that news, Raoul Pal, who's of course been very bullish on Solana, he tweeted out "Hot Soul Summer." Look, Raoul has made some great calls over the years. Last cycle, he was very bullish on Ethereum, and it did really well, obviously. And he's very bullish on Solana. It is his top pick for this cycle. So I'm going to ride the liquidity wave that's coming into Solana. Obviously, it's a top 5 token in the market on the market cap list. So do with that information what you will. And a great place that you can invest in Solana if you choose to is Uphold. Uphold is a great crypto platform where you can buy Bitcoin and all the top altcoins. They have 260 plus cryptocurrencies on their platform. I've been using them since 2018. I've interviewed the CEO and many other folks, so I can vouch for this platform. They also offer trading in precious metals such as gold, silver, palladium, and platinum, and they are fully reserved, so you can go review their transparency reports and much more. If you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. Now, guys, I just mentioned USDC via the Solana Blink's solution. Well, Jeremy Allaire, who I will be interviewing tomorrow, he's the co-founder and CEO of Circle, of course, which issues the second largest stablecoin in the world, which is USDC. This is really interesting. He tweeted out USDC.com, the world's digital dollar. Guys, if you've been a subscriber to this podcast, what have I been saying for a long time? I've even tweeted out about it over the years, that I believe the United States, if it's not going to create its own CBDC, would use USDC as its digital dollar, because USDC is interoperable on multiple blockchains. Circle is a US-based regulated institutions, and they have their reserves in a lot of US treasuries, or backed by a lot of US treasuries. So this is significant. He said, today we launch USDC.com, a simple website to help new users learn about and get USDC. Lots of ideas on how we can improve people learning about stablecoins and digital dollars. I'm smiling, I'm laughing, because I saw this coming from a long time ago, and I'm going to ask Jeremy about this, of course. So guys, make sure you're subscribed and you got the notification bell enabled. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, which is 100% free, by the way. Now, the stablecoin market is heating up with competition because Tether today released a video and they tweeted out, Tether and Uquid collaborate to showcase the use case of USDT in everyday transactions, showing USDT being used to purchase items and for shopping and much more. It's really fascinating what's happening here. Now, Tether, we know, has some issues with the EU regulations. And as I've been stating, I don't think this is some massive detrimental issue for Tether. It's a global stablecoin, the world's largest. So even if it takes a hit in certain markets, it doesn't mean Tether is going to die. There's people who sensationalize these things and they go crazy with FUD, but we want to be balanced. We want to leave our emotions at the door and look at the facts. So it's very fascinating what's happening with the stablecoin market. And we know Ripple is going to be launching their stablecoin soon, and I'll be interviewing one of the folks from Ripple next week to talk about this. So guys, like I said, make sure you're subscribed and you're supporting the podcast. All right, we got big news here from BitGo. BitGo is one of the top tier custodians in the market. Many of you know I have them as a sponsor. And here's the headline. BitGo sets the new standard for tri-party digital asset transactions with Arbelos Markets Nonco and Superstates USTB. So BitGo provides a secure third-party collateral management solution to leading institutions using Superstates tokenized treasury bill fund as collateral, highlighting the utility of these modernized financial assets. So On one hand, you have BitGo as a leading crypto custodian in the market, continuing to expand and working with different entities globally. On the flip side, you have tokenization continuing to get adoption and showing this is the future. I've been telling you guys for years. I talk about it in my book, Rethinking Crypto. The token economy is where we're headed, guys. Everything running on the blockchain. So here's the TLDR. BitGo's industry-leading collateral management solution supports a first-of-its-kind tri-party transaction between Arbelos Markets and Nanco, allowing them to execute their trading strategies securely and efficiently. Superstate's short-duration U.S. government securities fund, a tokenized fund where shares are issued as ERC20 tokens, so built on Ethereum, was employed as collateral, successfully highlighting the real-world application and value of tokenized assets. The tri-party transaction underscores the importance of secure market structure to continue to take advantage of opportunities within the digital asset space while ensuring proper protections are in place. So guys, the infrastructure is being built here for the token economy, and we're seeing some of the largest institutions in the world are doing tokenization. BlackRock, of course, has a fund on Ethereum, or has tokenized a fund on Ethereum. So we're just seeing the puzzle pieces coming together here for the ultimate end goal, which is the token economy, the world running on blockchain. Moving ahead, we got some news here from LightSpark, which is headed up by David Marcus, who obviously worked at PayPal and Facebook. And he says, I'm thrilled that Nubank has selected LightSpark to bring the Bitcoin Lightning Network and UMA, Universal Money Addresses, via the UMA standard to its platform and customers, now working with Nubank team on the integration. So huge news here. I'm actually trying to get David or someone else from LightSpark on the podcast because David has an incredible payments and technology pedigree. He's one of the serious players in this industry, and his company LightSpark is building, a lot of great things with the Lightning Network. And if anyone can get, Bitcoin Lightning Network adoption and growth around the globe, it would be him. So I'm actually watching him very closely in what he's doing. So this is pretty big. Nubank, for those of you who don't know, it's one of those new modern banks. They've been doing some big things around the globe. Now, speaking of Bitcoin, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, he was recently interviewed, says, I think Texas should welcome Bitcoin mining. I own 3 miners. They're in Iran, Texas. They're hashing right now. Guys, you have U.S. senators mining Bitcoin. It's amazing how far we've come. I've often stated I got into the market in 2016. I couldn't imagine this. If you're not bullish and you're bearish because of short-term volatility in the market, you're missing the bigger picture here. We are in a new era of the crypto industry and asset class, guys. Honestly, there's no more doubts. Over the years, as you learn more about the technology and you become more educated about it, there's still some doubts in the back of your mind. What if this happens? What if that happens? Now we have the biggest institutions in the world on Wall Street, stock exchanges, banks. You've got politicians endorsing crypto, mining Bitcoin. I mean, what else evidence do you need, right? And I often state that, if you're still sitting on the fence about this asset class, then you need to do more research. You're missing what is happening right before your eyes. And if you don't take a position now, you'll be forced to eventually, as the asset class grows, and you'll probably pay a premium because you'll have to pay markup fees and so forth to banks and these institutions that are going to sell it to you. So very bullish news here. Now, finally, we got some news around Eigenlayer. Eigenlayer AVS Ava protocol acquires blockchain data startup OpenStory. The TLDR here is Ava protocol and Eigenlayer AVS focus on Web3 automation has acquired the blockchain data startup OpenStory. The acquisition comes ahead of Ava protocol's mainnet and token launch. So for those of you who don't know, Ava Protocol, formerly known as Oak Network, was founded in 2021 to develop autonomous transaction infrastructure on the Polkadot blockchain. I do have some DOT tokens in my portfolio. The rebranding to Ava Protocol took place earlier this month to reflect the project's broader vision of supporting multiple blockchains. Ava Protocol currently supports the Ethereum blockchain as an Eigenlayer AVS and Polkadot as a parachain. Eigenlayer AVSs are third-party protocols that drive security from Eigenlayer and Ethereum restaking protocol. Speaking of restaking, be sure to check out my interview with Warren Paul Anderson, who formerly worked at Ripple and did work on the XRP ledger and so forth. He has a startup that's doing omni-chain restaking, which takes it to the next level and is much safer. So be sure to check out that interview. So this is big news around Eigenlayer here. All right, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Be sure to grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. Grab a copy to support the podcast. Grab a couple copies for your friends and family who want to learn about crypto. It includes tips for investing in crypto. It gives the whole story about what's happening at Wall Street with the ETFs, what's going on with tokenization and the future of this asset class. If you bought a copy already, please leave a rating and review on Amazon. It would really help to support the podcast. Thank you guys for watching and listening. And don't forget that interview with Jeremy Allaire. I'm doing it tomorrow. It'll probably be published maybe on Friday or Monday. So make sure you're subscribed and have the notification bells enabled. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you all later.